Hello and welcome to the V200 and V-Series overview presented by Hemisphere GNSS. The Marine Technology team consists of myself, Matt Steele. I'm the Product Marketing Manager for the Marine markets, as well as Martin DeKevitt, who is the Sales Manager for the Marine market. Both Martin and I have been in the GNSS business for a good amount of time, and we're definitely excited to show you the V200 and the V-Series product line. The agenda for today is the V200 Smart Antenna. We're going to talk about what it's replacing as far as our current product line, the features and benefits that come from the V200, as well as the benefits of multi-constellation. From the V-Series family, we're going to talk about market applications, positioning performance, heading performance, activations and subscriptions, and the overall product line. We're also going to touch on the Atlas Global Correction Service, the Hemisphere support team, as well as some general next steps of what you can use to find out more about the V200 or the additional Hemisphere product line. To start, the V200 will currently be replacing the V104 and the V102 GPS compasses. In order to make this possible, we had to design the V200 to meet both accuracy needs. So the V200 comes in two versions. One is a CAN version and one is a serial version. Both of these versions have the scalability to work at the same level as a V104 or the same level as a V102. To put that in perspective, the V104 currently works at about 2 degrees of heading accuracy, and the V102 currently works at 0.75 degrees of heading accuracy. So the V200, being one hardware set, can meet the 0.75 degree heading accuracy of the V102 with what we call the enhanced heading activation, and the V200 as a basic heading device will automatically meet better performance than the V104, which is actually 1.5 degrees of heading accuracy. So one product replacing both the V104 and V102 with no sacrifice in terms of heading performance for either market. Some information about the V200 Smart Antenna. It is a multi-GNSS signal support system, so it does support multi-constellations being GPS, GLONASS, Galileo, Beidou. It is a single frequency antenna or smart antenna, so it will only work in a single frequency setup. Again, we touched on the scalability of the position and heading accuracy. So it is scalable in terms of positioning. It can work as an autonomous SBAS or an Atlas basic type system, depending on what the activations are. The heading, again, we talked about that as well, is as its basic format, it'll achieve a 1.5 degree heading accuracy with the enhanced heading activation. You can work that up to or scale that up to 0.75 degrees of heading accuracy. All these products, including the V200, are Atlas Correction Service capable. So again, this will support Atlas Basic on land as well as offshore. And it comes as an all-in-one GNSS compass, which means the GNSS board, the interface board, and the GNSS antennas are all integrated into one enclosure with a set separation for the antennas. One of the great things about a GNSS compass is that there is a reduced impact in terms of magnetics and far north and south latitudes. There is a current compass safe distance, obviously, from electronics, but it's far reduced impact when it comes to magnetics compared to a traditional style compass. Also, again, as I stated before, there's interoperability with NEMA 2000 as well as serial applications. So there is a CAN NEMA 2000 based SKU or version of the V200, which is ready to be plugged and played into a standard NEMA 2000 backbone. As soon as it's plugged in, it's ready to output both heading and positioning messages, and really takes very little for integration into an already designed network. The V200 does have an integrated gyro and tilt sensor. These will help in any times of, say, GNSS outages or interruptions. It does help for faster reacquisition, as well as to kind of guide us through any potential outages or interruptions for a short period of time. It's roughly about 1 degree of accuracy loss per minute, up to upwards of 3 minutes. And that happens again when there's a GNSS outage or interruption, whether you're going underneath a bridge or you're in busy waterways where there's some sort of blockage to the GNSS antennas or system. And the V200 is also set to work and provide position and heading, as well as pitch, roll, and heave. Additionally, the V200 is a real simple installation. It comes with 3 mounting options. The first mounting option is a low-profile surface mount. Essentially, you take a cradle, attach it to the vessel, and then the low-profile surface mount is connected to the V200, and it snaps into place for kind of easy mounting. A more higher profile version of the surface mount is available, which allows you to use the same cradle, just has a little bit more of an increase in height, so it can get you over any other potential areas for interference, as well as gives you some clearance advantages as well. And the final option is the pole mount, which is a standard 1-inch pole mount found in a lot of marine applications. It's easy to use. You rotate on, the actual cable goes up through the middle. It's a really clean install, and really easy to set up. The great thing about the V200 is that it's also a small form factor. Its overall height or length is about 35 centimeters, so pretty small, easy to set up, very compact, but a very powerful GNSS compass. As far as integration goes, again, we've kind of touched on this from a CAN or NEMA 2000 standpoint. It's really kind of plug and play, ready to go into applications such as like autopilots, chart plotters, or like an AIS system. So what are some of the benefits of multi-constellation? Multi-constellation, for the most part, gives you more satellites, which allows you to be a little bit pickier in terms of the measurements you use. As you can see here, from say the V104, V102, we have about 7 GPS signals or satellites being used, and if you look at the V200 on the right, you have upwards of 16 being tracked and used at the time. So you actually double your available satellites, which allows for cleaner measurements. It also helps boost the already pretty stellar anti-spoofing technology that Hemisphere has in place. It allows any kind of discrepancies in terms of measurements or time signals or time signatures to be vetted a little easier and removed in terms of anti-spoofing. So multi-constellation provides more satellites, better tracking, better measurements, and more protection in the end. So what are these different devices used for? So the V200, we consider that kind of a recreational product. Whether it's either basic heading or it's enhanced heading, it still kind of falls within the recreational market, which is used mostly for sports fishing, virtual anchoring, AIS systems, autopilot components, as well as chart plotting. Now, as we move into the other V-Series products, we'll see things get into more commercial and professional, specifically the V123, the V133. So the difference between a V123 and a V133 is that the V133 does everything the V123 does, but the V133 also includes beacon. And they're both IMO certified. So full-on wheel marked, all the necessary alerts and benchmarking have been completed, and it's a full and complete IMO system. These are ready to be plugged and played into, say, autopilots, can be used in hydrographic surveying and in any type of bathymetric works. Now, if we go to the next level up, we look at the professional market. We have two products ready to lend a hand in this area. We have the V500 and the VS1000. Both of these are multi-frequency, multi-constellation, both running our patented Athena RTK engine, and provide great levels of precise positioning, as well as scalable heading in terms of the VS1000. Having separated antennas, you can push that out to about 10 meters, and that's when you start seeing like a 0.01 degree of heading accuracy. Both of these devices can be used on container shipping, pipe routing, cable laying, hydrographic surveying, as well as in a dredging environment. Positioning performance. So for the V200 and the V123, V133, the two areas what we'll see in terms of service level is SBAS for sure, and Atlas Basic. So Atlas Basic can be split into two pieces. One is on land or onshore, which would be an activation, a one-time cost, and then you also have Atlas Basic Offshore, which is a subscription, but it's been drastically reduced to be competitive. These are important. Atlas Basic is important in areas that don't necessarily have an SBAS type correction available. So like say Australia, as well as South America and areas of Africa where there isn't a clean SBAS based system in place. As we move up into, like say, the V500 and VS1000, that's when we get into the other levels of Atlas. So multi-frequency, multi-GNSS brings about the availability of Atlas H30, which is about 30 centimeters of accuracy, 95%. Atlas H10, which is about 10 centimeters of accuracy, 95%. And then it gets us into our RTK realm, where we get to 1.5 centimeters, 2 parts per million. So different heading levels. Like I said, we've talked about the V200 basic. Again, that's 24 centimeter separation baseline between the antennas. Gives you about 2 degrees of heading accuracy. It's probably closer to 1.5 degrees of heading accuracy. The V200 Enhance gets you that 0.75 degree heading accuracy with the same antenna separation, about 24 centimeters. And then we get into the V123, 133, which gives you that 0.3 degree heading accuracy at about a half meter. The V500 is also at a half meter, but again, you're taking advantage of multi-frequency, multi-GNSS, and that gives you a 0.2 degree heading accuracy. And then again, we've covered this, but the VS1000 at a 10 meter baseline or antenna separation will get you that 0.01 degree heading accuracy. So really, it's the separation of the antennas is really where the heading performance comes in place. But again, given the size and the compactness and powerful engines behind these items, you really can't go wrong with either one. It just really is market dependent and application dependent. As far as activation subscriptions go, we've touched on this. The V200 will work for Atlas Basic. I mean, obviously, it's also available for update rates such as 10 hertz, 20 hertz, as well as up to 50 hertz. When we talk about the V123, 133, it's in the same realm as that V200. You'll get those 10 hertz, 20 hertz, 50 hertz, as well as Atlas Basic and SBAS performance. The V500 again moves us up into that multi-frequency, multi-GNSS area where we can start looking at H30, H10, and RTK. And again, same with the VS1000, that gets us into that Atlas H10, Atlas H30, and the RTK activation area. So a little more information about the V123, V133 smart antenna. This is an all-in-one GNSS compass. So again, that's that GNSS board, the interface board, and all the antennas are all in one enclosure. Comes out to one connector. It's one cable for power, one cable for power and data. So easy to install, really straightforward, and it is IMO certified, so it's IMO wheel marked. We have all the alerts in place, all of the update rates in place, and all the benchmarks required to meet IMO certification have been met by the V123 and 133. The V133, again, is beacon capable, so that's something to keep in mind as well. And both of these products also supports Atlas Global Correction Service, so you can use Atlas Basic onshore or offshore with this product line. For the V500, again, it's an all-in-one GNSS compass, so you have all the pieces and parts underneath one enclosure. It's again one connector coming out, easy to install. Simple for cable management. It's easy. It's one cable in and out for both power and data. This is a full Athena RTK technology board inside of this product, so you do get that Hemisphere patented RTK system. Again, it is multi-frequency, multi-GNSS, so you get all the constellations from GPS, GLONASS, Galileo, Beidou, QZSS. You name it, we kind of have it. So, it supports Atlas Global Corrections, and this is again one of those that you can do the full Atlas Basic onshore, offshore. You can do H30, Atlas H10, or RTK. And great for again container shipping, cable laying, and any of those really high-end precision items you need, hydrographic surveying and dredging. The VS1000 GNSS receiver. This is a great versatile GNSS receiver. When I say versatile, I mean it has USB, CAN, Ethernet, serial, 1 PPS out, dedicated connector for that. This is really a product that can be used in multiple applications. It has flexibility and precision kind of to no end. You have scalable position. Again, we talk about from SBAS all the way up to RTK, and scalable heading accuracy. Again, we talk about the separation of those two antennas, the primary and secondary. The further you push them out, the more heading accuracy you're going to get, and this is the exact product that will allow you to do that. Has full support for Atlas Global Correction Service, and is a fully authorized Athena RTK technology product. So you get that full-on 1.5 centimeter RTK accuracy at 2 parts per million. So Atlas Global Corrections. For those of you that don't know, we offer an Atlas L-band global correction service. It does support multiple constellations. It supports GPS, GLONASS, Galileo, Beidou, QZSS, and it is powered by our Athena technology. And again, we've talked about the scalable service levels, between Atlas Basic, H30, and H10. Really simple to use, and is covered across the world here. So speaking of coverage, here's the Atlas Global coverage map. You can see that we basically cover every major landmass as well as waterway in the world. It's easy to set up, easy to use. It's a basic L-band correction service that provides unbelievable performance and flexibility. Just touching on some of the accuracies for these. Atlas Basic, again, you're going to see about that 60 degree centimeter, 95%. H30, you're going to see about a 30 centimeter, about 95%, as well as H10 will be about that 10 centimeter, 95% performance. And these are consistent benchmarks that we can hit on a consistent basis. So it's a great service to be available to everybody. And when our support for our support team, we do offer an Atlas portal. The Atlas portal is a really easy to use site. You go in, you input your ESN number inside it. It gives you kind of the options of whether if you want to update to, say, if you have an RTK capable product, or you want to, again, do Atlas H10, H30, or just do Atlas Basic. This portal allows you to get easy access to activations, subscriptions, and really allow for a quick response on a lot of these items. So you get the activation or subscription emailed to you immediately, and you can input that into your system as soon as you have it. Integration support, we do have a great team of engineers and technical support specialists that will work with customers from a GNSS and a firmware standpoint, as well as from a software standpoint. If there's ever any issues, they'll walk you through point by point and ensure that you get the service and help that you need to get back out in the field and get working. And our global technical team. Our team continues to grow year over year. We have the Asian market, Australian market, North American, South American market, and the European market are all, we have dedicated technical resources for those areas. So you get 24/7 support and proper feedback in a timely manner on this. So, well, that's it for the webinar. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Martin DeKevitt or anybody else from the Hemisphere sales team. It's been a pleasure being able to talk with you and give you some information on the V200 and the V-Series family product line. I hope you have a great day and you have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you so much.